They've beaten the All Blacks 3 times, and that's a pretty convincing win. So well done to them. I think they play very structured rugby and they play it particularly well. All Blacks, well, we played well in the last 20 and didn't play well enough in the first 60, to be frank. And I think that's the basic reason we lost the game. But guys again showed a lot of character coming back when the game looked lost and could have pulled it out of the fire. But we just need to play for longer periods of time with a lot more consistency. Thank you.
Graham, why did it take the team an hour to get into the game, do you think?
Oh, we turned over too much ball, didn't we? Didn't have a structure up front. At set piece for a lot of the time in the first half, and when we did look likely, we turned the ball over in the tackle. So that was frustrating. So once you get that consistency, and we started to get that consistency, the line-out got a lot better in the second half. We held on to a bit of ball, and we started to stretch them and looked a good side. So it's about getting the foundations right, set piece and the work at the tackle, and being a wee bit more adventuresome, I think. So we got a wee bit more adventuresome as the game went on, and that paid some dividends for us.
Graham, last week in Christchurch you described the set piece as flaky. What did you think of it tonight?
Improving as the game went on. So it got better. The last 20 minutes was as good as it could be, I guess. We turned over a scrum ball, I think, which was frustrating in front of the post. But apart from that, the set piece was sound in the last 20, 25, 30 minutes. So, and that gives you the foundation to go from there.
Why does the line-out seem to be a bit nervous early on?
I guess that's confidence, and sometimes once you don't hit the jumpers early, the confidence starts to wane, and we didn't hit the jumpers early, and that's what happened there. But as I say, as the game went on, that confidence returned and played some pretty good football in the end.
Steve, is confidence shot in the line-out?
I wouldn't think so, not if you can finish the game like we did. I mean, the first half we made human errors. We didn't have a backlifter on the first row, overthrew the second one and didn't have a backlifter on the next one. So you get away to a bad start, then we won a line-out, which we probably would have been good in hindsight to have lost when they scored their intercept try, so we could afford to have lost another one. The positive thing about the line-out for me in that first half was the fact that we managed to put them under a lot of pressure too. Like their ball that they won was pretty untidy as well. So yeah, obviously disappointing. You can't get a platform going if you don't win yours, and we didn't do that. Second half we came out and apart from I think Horry's first row, which was a knot straight, we won all our ball and won it where we wanted to win it and won it cleanly. So it's a work in progress. And we made good progress against what's deemed to be the best line out in the world. So, I think, confidence is a big part of it, but we should take some confidence out of how we finish the game.
Graham and Wayne, how did you feel the 10-12 combination went tonight? Graham, you first if you'd mind.
I don't think it was as good as we'd hoped. We thought it was the right selection. Both guys are quality players. So I thought Daniel lacked a wee bit of giving the side direction when we had both of them on the field. And just with one of them, I think that improved that. So now you go in thinking that both can work well together and it's going to work well and things are going to be smooth. It didn't happen on the night. And as good as it could have been. So that's why we changed it. We just thought that with one of them at 10 and directing all the traffic, it may give us a greater clarity. And I think that did happen, and I think Asai Tuiava, when he came on, made a difference in centre. So he gave us a wee bit more explosiveness. He broke the line a couple of times, set up the first try. So that was very good for him.
Yeah, from my perspective, I mean the same as Graham. But there wasn't I feel a bit sorry for Stephen because there wasn't a lot of opportunity in that first half. We only did about one strike, I think, off a set piece, And so it was a sort of a scrambling type of game, and it wasn't how we wanted to play, clearly. So it probably wasn't a good reflection, really, of what they could have achieved. But as Graham said, we decided to make a change, and whether it was a change or the fact that we got back in the game, I'm not too sure, but we played a bit better in that last 30.
Richie, in the 60th minute you had a penalty in front of the post and went for a scrum, and then 5 minutes later you had a similar position, you went for the kick. Can you explain your thinking in them two circumstances?
Yep. At the time, the first scrum felt like we had them under pressure, and obviously it was 10 points of difference, so 3 points wouldn't have got us inside 7, so that's why we decided to take the scrum. Fortunately, that got turned over, but I think that was the right call because we had them on the ropes, whereas the one a bit further out, we'd sort of scrambled back to there, and it was, I think 3 points was on offer, and felt we just need to start again, so that's why we took that. And there was still 15 minutes to go there, so that's why the thinking changed a little bit there. In hindsight, after you turn the ball over, you might wish you'd taken 3, but at the time, the guys pretty keen to do that, and it felt like we had a bit of momentum, so that's the reasoning.
Yeah, question for Wayne. The tactical kicking battle tonight, can you give us your assessment of how you think the All Blacks went, both kicking the ball and fielding those kicks?
Good and bad. You know, the irony was that we took some great high ball, but we dropped a couple of critical ones, and they came back and bit us. In terms of our own kicking, I think it was okay at times, and I think once we got into the swing of the game, our attacking kicking became better. But it was a difficult day, really, in terms of not really getting into the game for a long period of time.
Graham, over here, could you just give us your reflection on the critical lessons that you've learnt from these 3 tests against the Springboks this year? What are the big things you take out of these 3 defeats?
I think it's the basic game, isn't it? Quality first phase ball, so that you've got a foundation to work from. And tonight we got better at that as the game went on, as I said, getting that ball over the advantage line, and that happened in the last 25-30 minutes. So that gives a platform going forward. I think our high ball work has improved, to be frank. It cost us a try tonight and an intercept try, so a little bit frustrating there with the intercept try. Can you plan for those? I'm not sure. But I just think it's a basic game. Quality first phase ball and getting the ball over the advantage line, so you've got some go forward ball, and when you achieve those 2 things, then you're looking likely. And we achieved those things, but it was a wee bit late in the game. So that's what we need to keep on improving on, and hopefully doing it from minute 1.
How much are you missing Ali Williams and Chris Jack in particular?
Oh, I don't think. I think guys with that sort of experience would obviously help. I think Steve's covered that pretty well, and Ali Williams will probably give the guys a wee bit more confidence because he's played 50 test matches, and Isaac Ross has played 7, I think. So that's naturally he's going to have a wee bit more confidence in that. But I think Isaac's played well in the test matches he's played this year, and I think he's got a big future in the game, and it's just a matter of him having time in the team and playing these sort of test matches. He's never going to get a bigger challenge than he's had against the Springboks, and I think he's getting better.
Graham, has France Dane changed the dynamics for teams in terms of where they can commit penalties now? He's knocking them over from 60 metres out, which is almost unheard of in New Zealand.
Yes, it is a bit frustrating, isn't it?
3-2.
You just can't afford to infringe, basically. And like he kicks ball from 60 metres, and the other fella's very accurate all around the post. I thought the goal kicking tonight was the best I've ever seen. I don't think they missed one, the 2 teams. Daniel kicked superbly, and the 2 Staines kicked outstandingly too. So one from long distance and the other guy from 40 metres. So it was a brilliant display of goal kicking. We probably want to see a few more tries, I guess, but it was a brilliant display of goal kicking.
On that note, were you frustrated by some of the officiating. I mean, we had a penalty 9 seconds into the game and a lot of whistle, you know, at a time when rugby needs people coming through the gates. Is that a concern that there's so much whistle?
Oh, I think referees have got to referee the way they see it and try and be as accurate as possible. And if you've got that, well, I think you'll get a good game. I think perhaps playing the advantage a wee bit longer may have helped the game as a spectacle. So when there was an infringement, maybe there was an opportunity for counter-attack and so on. But generally I thought he was pretty sound.
Go to number8.co.nz.